Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending from where you are tuning in today. You are welcome. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for tuning in today for another edition with Mamlaka Broadcast Network. And I am your host of today, Ambassador Veronique Lawson, coming to you live from our local studio right here in Savannah, Georgia. Yes, you hear it well. We are Mamlaka Brokers Network. Hello, 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 my chat silly. I see you. Thank you very much. How's office today? Are you winding down also before Christmas? Great, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Mamlaka Brokers Network is a platform designed to contrast worldly fact with the kingdom to the original. You hear it well. Please stay on the comment box where are you tuning in from so that we could cheer out to you and that we could say hi. I see that also beautiful queen Victoria is tuning in all the way from Spain. How are you, my darling? How is the weather right there? Is it cold? Is it warm? I mean, is it too warm, too cold, or in between? Anyhow, I know that you are in a good place, right? So today we are winding down for this year. And then as I have begun to say it like a couple of days before, that on the December 14th will mark our last day for the show of 2021. Hello, 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 Dr. Pepe Rana, all the way from my beautiful Kingdom Community Miramar Center in Florida. How are you? And we are going to be resuming on January the 10th. So it has been our privilege to be a voice of the kingdom to all of you, our audience who have every time tuned in when we were live, and then also going back and watch the video that we broadcasted and all the show. Thank you very much. It has been very a tremendous journey and a blessing, and I know that you have been blessed. We have some up, we have some down, but you know, at the end of the day, we are always blessed. Hello, 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 beautiful Queen Vicky, all the way from Missouri. It's the house. How are you, darling? Thank you for tuning in. So, as I was saying, for those who are just tuning in now, today marks our last day for this year's show. December 14th, we decided to have a break for the whole team so that we could actually have a very good Christmas and very prosperous 2022 with our family, with our loved one, with our friends, with our audience, because we are going to interact individually with you via our various social network, and so that we're going to be cheering out to you and knowing that you have been tremendously blessed this year by the kingdom sharing through Mamlaka Broadcast Network, the entire team. We said thank you for continuing to be that people who would want us to do more. It's because of you that we strive to bring it out every time, because we say we have an audience. Wonderful. Hello, beautiful darling Queen Eliana More, all the way from Brazil. How are you, darling? How are you? Brazil is in the house. Thank you very much. So I'm continuing today on this topic, applying principle way to success, and management is the one that I wanted to close the year with, because we always speak about starting the year right. Many people in the beginning of the year, they do some goal, they put some goal, they do it, they do that, but sometimes they are sidetracked. So I think that by the leading of the Spirit, He wanted me to bring management as the last part of the show. And so I'm not so sure that I will be able to cover the whole topic today. I started last week. I know it's a big topic, and I'm going to be continuing even, I think, in next year coming up. So if you have missed something, please You could just continue do your research, and you could watch our video. You could maybe test us, and if you have some question in terms of the things that we have broadcast all this year, and that you want to know more, please email us, or please send us a text or messenger or in WhatsApp or even in our Instagram. We are going to be retrieving that one, and we are going to work on it. Great. We're going to be starting the year right, as they said, some people, but we're starting the year in January the 10th with a powerful kingdom cheating series, which is going to be given by Apostle John Abraham. He's going to be with us, I think, for the whole month of January, maybe up to February, and it's a powerful kingdom teaching series that he's bringing. So I'm pretty sure that you don't want to miss none of that. It's going to be starting January 10th, and that will be going up to when the Holy Spirit tells him to stop. So now, let us dive into this teaching of today. Management. Remember last time I gave you 6 elements, but I was talking about the 6th element of management. I gave you 3 thoughts so far. I just want to give you the 3 that I gave you so that I could continue. The 6th element of management, the authority. I'm not going to give you all the detail I gave you, but I will give you the authority so that you could go back and watch that video. You will understand what the authority is. I gave you the purpose of authority. Once you receive the authority, you need to understand the purpose of that authority, because if you do not understand the purpose of that authority, you will misuse it. And so you need to know who is the boss and why did you get that authority. And I gave you also the source to be managed. What are the resources? The resources to be managed. What are the resources that God entrusted in your care that need your management? I gave you also that one last time. So now we're going to continue. And I gave you a quote by Dr. Monroe. He says that nothing in the world is worse than someone who doesn't understand what or he or she possesses. Nothing in the world, nothing in this world is worse than that one. And so, example, you sell your home that God gave you, and you learn after it was so that it was sat upon a gold or a diamond mine. This goes the same with people. When they don't understand the value of their talent and resources, people will buy you cheap. So from today, I say that no one will buy me cheap because I understand the value of my talent. Therefore, I will not just trade it like Esau trade all what he had for just a pot of a stew. And so sometimes we do that one without knowing it. And today we continue. I'll give you number 4, which is the value of the resources. You also need to value the resources that God entrusted in your care. You can only manage effectively if you truly understand the value of resources in your possession. I'm going to repeat it for the sake of people who are writing. You can only manage effectively if you truly understand the value of resources in your possession. So if you don't understand the value of resources in your possession, you will therefore mismanage. Matthew 6:26 and 28, Jesus is speaking here. Jesus is using the birds and the flowers as an analogy, as a metaphor, here to show us how we should relax. How we should relax. That means why we have an intrinsic value and trust God. Because he said, bird does not twirl. And flower, they don't try to run to find the water to water them, because they know that God is going to bring down rain. And so Jesus understood the value of resources around him. And because of his understanding and because of his perception, he managed everything effectively. Remember the loaves? When he fed the 5,000, or so at one point he fed the 4,000, and then the disciple was just leaving behind all the leftover. And he said, pick every single piece of it. Why? Because my Father is not a father of waste. In another word, I said it, God is not a God of waste. So every little thing is very, very important before God. I will give you some scripture that you will ponder during this Christmas time till we come back again. Matthew chapter 8, verse 5 through 19. Matthew chapter 8, the same chapter, verse 20 through 34. And Matthew chapter 5, 35 through 43. Maybe you could put that one on the screen, please, the one that is writing the comment for me. Thank you very much. Matthew chapter 8, 5 through 17, and the same chapter 20 through 34. And Mark chapter 5, 35 through 43. Mark chapter 10, 13 through 16. If you want to understand how Jesus understood and perceived the resources and how he effectively managed it, those are the three scriptures that you have to ponder upon it, and then you're going to now change the way you be managed resources. People in general don't value people enough. Why? Because they do not understand the value of people. The greatest resource that God gave us on the earth is not the money, it's not a bank account, but they are people. People are greater resources that God gave mankind to mankind. Why? Because the talent that is in that person or the talent that is in the other person will come together, and then if you don't understand the value of that talent for the person you're right, and you don't understand the value of the person in your life, then therefore you will not value them, and therefore you won't be beneficial to them, and they won't be beneficial to you. Can't you not imagine that you are having a vision and the person will have to source it? God is going to use somebody to put the money. But if you just don't know who that person is, and then the person come into your circle, and then you don't understand the value of what the person is bringing, so that you just mismanage the person, then you lose. So it is not so with our Lord. Each one of us is valuable, so valuable to him and to one another. And so if it was only for one single person on the earth, Jesus Christ would have still come. I always say that. Just always consider that you are being the only person on the earth. The sinner, Jesus Christ will have still come. So the number 5 on this 6th element of management is the responsibility that comes with management. You know, when God asks us to manage something, then he gave us responsibility for it. It's not the one who's going to come down to manage it. We have to take responsibility. You will be a good manager only when you know what you are accountable for and what is expected of you. Luke chapter 16, verse 4 and verse 8. I'm going to give an analogy of Jesus there. In this book of Luke chapter 16, verse 4 and verse 8, Jesus actually is level on the church in this parable, especially in verse 8. He said, in fact, he said, too many children of light neglected their responsibility. Too many children of light neglected their responsibility in life's affair. They allowed the world to run over them because of their ignorance and irresponsibility in the business and social area. We see it today. So Jesus was pointing it out already in his days. And he said that we have to go and see how the children of darkness are doing things. And we neglect the responsibility given to us, or we are totally ignorant of those responsibilities, so that we could better take care of the estate, which is the earth, which God gave mankind. We are supposed to be in charge, doing it smarter, bigger, and better than those who are not spirit-filled. That's why we at Mamlaka Brokers Network, we always say we want to do it with the spirit of excellence. If the world is doing something, when you watch some video on YouTube, sometimes I just say, my goodness, did the person see what they're doing? The message may be good, but the environment where it's set is just crap. So we have to do it very smarter. We have to do it with the bigger picture in mind, and even better than those who are not spirit-filled, who have not embraced God's kingdom principle. To do that, we must be truly trained in the organization reality of our day. That's why when you go to your daily job and you see how those people who are doing things who do not even know God, and you see they try to do it in such a way because they understand how the visual plays a great role. Number 6 of these 6 elements is the standard of expectation. What is your standard in life? What is your standard in accordance to your talent? We have to understand one standard of expectation, because every assignment for management comes with an expectation. So if God does not expect something from you and I, why did we have to put us on the earth to manage? If you feel that, okay, he just put us here just to play life, why did he expect us? What did God expect from you and I? God expects something from you and I. We are not just here to play life. So you have to understand the standards of expectation from God viewpoint, not from man. Otherwise, we do not manage it life, or we will not have a result at the end. God, who entrusted the planet Earth to us, has a certain standard and expect us to uphold it in that standard. Today we sit there, sometimes you're driving down the road. I'm just taking an example. You're driving down the road, somebody's eating, and then you just trash it like that. You don't even think yourself that this is the planet I'm living. I'm just putting my trash on the road, just trash it this way. Or, I was just driving, I just put the window down, trash. No. You may be by yourself in your car, but God expects you to be that manager he put, to be that steward he put on the earth, to be the ruler he put on the earth. Rule every single thing. Management touch every single area of our lives. I'm telling you, it's going to be so good when we talk about our own body, because it's in it. That's going to be next year. So our management ability, and when we do it with integrity, when we do what God expected us with integrity, everyone benefits from it. So let me take a sip of coffee while we take a short minute break here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, MBN team. for that beautiful greetings, and then for that wishes for all of our viewer, our audience, our family, our loved one. You have been such a great support to us. Dr. Pepe, you have been such a great support to us. All our people of accountability, you have been such a great support to us. Every person in this audience, and even the one that are going to tune in later on, you have been such a good support to us. So we are so grateful for your life, and thank you for continually striving with us as we journey even in 2022, which is going to be a very, very prosperous year. So I wish you Merry Christmas to all your family. Enjoy life, enjoy the joy of the season, and let's dive in again onto this topic. So I was saying before the break that, and when we do not do, when we do it with integrity, and everyone benefit from it, benefit and profit also from it. So our management ability determines how much more that God has for us. Sometimes we complain, we say, "Oh, I don't have that." Have you checked your management? Maybe you don't have it because you mismanage somewhere. Remember, beloved, when you mismanage, you're going to pay a consequence. It will determine how much more God has for us, or how much he has held back from us. He will give us as much of his more as we can be entrusted with. God will not give us things that he knows that we can manage. You could treat that one. He will not give us the thing that he knows that you and I could not manage. If you could not manage $100, how you pray for God to give you a 1 million? Even when he gave you $100, you don't pay the tithe of that $100, or you don't help somebody with that $100. You mismanage the $100, and you want God to bless you with $1 million? No, it will not happen. Efficient management allows God to increase the more, according to 1 Timothy chapter 3, 4, and 5. When you effectively manage, God will increase, and even he will cause your border to be even wider. For instance, if a pastor cannot manage his own children, he is incapable to manage God's children. Right? If you could not manage $100 bill, as I said, how do you want God to give you 1,000 or 1,000,000? If as a leader you cannot manage a salary or a bank account, how can God trust you then with a $1 million bank account for an organization? God would not do that. I don't know the type of God that is going to give that one to you, because our God is a God of purpose, and he's a God of great management. So don't be fooled with what they say, okay, prosperity management, Don't be fooled of that. Welcome, beautiful Queen Annette Trujillo. Glad seeing you. Don't be fooled. God will only give you what you can manage. Whatever you mismanage, you will lose. It is simple as that. You mismanage your home. How? You're going to ask me how? Without paying your rent or without paying your mortgage, you lose the home. Why? Because the owner of the home will come and repossess it, because you just mismanage it. Right? The law also rewards faithfulness. It also rewards those who faithfully manage what he gave to them, what he entrusts to them. God gave you a body, you mismanage the body, then you're going to have a trouble. God gave you a talent, you mismanage the talent, you're going to have a trouble. Matthew 25:21, we see that one right there when Jesus Christ said to the person who go in and borrow, and the other one will multiply the talent that was given. He received more. So God rewards your faithfulness in the management. With all this in view, you can now locate yourself in the current condition in respect to God's management call. Jesus wants to make known to you and I the resources that are just in our fingertips. We have them. And sometimes we can see them because we are somewhere mismanaged somewhere. Therefore, we are blindfolded on that. So managing God's resources. How am I to manage God's resources? God's plan. God has a plan, but you has a responsibility. God has already planned it. Now he expects you to do your part. He expects me to do my part. How? Through responsibility. Let us consider some thought to illustrate those principles. Nothing makes the owner of a company angrier than a manager who thinks the company's and its resources belongs to him personally. That's a quote from Dr. Miles Monroe. He says, nothing makes the owner of a company angrier than a manager who thinks the company and his resources belong to him personally. What was he saying, Dr. Monroe, with this quote? It was actually talking to mankind who think that the earth belongs to us. And so that we come and we try to take all the resources as if it belonged to us personally. Remember, beloved, Psalm 24, 1 and 2, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. For he has founded it upon the sea and established it upon the floor. So, if you do not understand this principle of the earth being the law, and you try to come and try to do things as if it was mine. Last time I say I own absolutely nothing because everything belongs to God. Why did I came up with that? Because it settled down my mind. I'm not going to try to say this is mine. No, I own nothing. Even the house, we don't own it. We are just a store. I'm a steward of my body. I'm a steward of the resources God gave me. I'm a steward of the children and grandchildren God gave us. I am a steward of everything. I own absolutely nothing. Cars and no, absolutely none. Can God, I put him first. I say, Father, thank you for the house you gave us. So remind me how to maintain it. Thank you for the car you gave us. Remind me how to maintain it. Thank you for the body you gave me, because this is your temple. So remind me how to take care of it. And so I said to my mind, and therefore I don't get into trouble with trying to have a big hair. Okay, I have my Christmas hair today. Or my Santa Claus. Santa Claus, I don't even know where it come from. I'm sorry, that's Satra. You are where you are because that is where you have subconsciously chosen to be. No one pushes you there but yourself. You are where you are because that is where you have subconsciously chosen to be. And no one pushes you there but yourself. So if you want to get out, you can also get out. Responsibility is the ability to respond to your God's given ability. So the only way to find out what you are able to do is to give yourself some time to do it. God will never allow you to become all you were born to be until you are sick and tired of being who you were or what you were. Let me repeat this one again. God will never allow you to become all you were born to be until you are sick and tired of being what you were or what you are. You have to become who he created to be. But in order to become that, you have to find yourself, you have to discover. And in order to discover yourself, that means you have to have a serious meeting with yourself. Discipline is a self-imposed standard and restriction motivated by a desire greater than alternatives. You know, in life, we have a lot of alternatives. Let me tell you an example of Daniel again, the prophet. He got the alternative to dine, wine, and all that one daily at the king's Nebuchadnezzar table. But when they went into Babylon, Daniel and his friend, they purposefully say, we will not gonna do those things. Give us just vegetable for 10 days. We were not going to die with all those fancy whatever. And then and the Inuku that was there with them, the king's right hand said, oh, I'm afraid that will cost my place. He said, no, just give us the vegetable for 10 days. And he said, after the 10 days, the king tested them. They were better 10 times than those who were eating all those fancy food. So they purposeful, they discipline themselves. You never conquer a mountain. Mountains can be conquered, could not be conquered. You conquer yourself, your hopes, your dreams. That is a quote from Jim Whittaker, the first American to climb Mount Everest. After he was the first to climb Mount Everest, this is what he wrote. He said, you never conquer a mountain. Mountains cannot be conquered. You conquer yourself. You conquer your hope. You conquer your dreams. And he became the first American who ever climbed the Mount Everest. Dr. Morrow said, no matter how great your dream is, you will never fulfill it until you pass the test that qualify you to manage the dream. My goodness. I'm going to close with one quote. I'll read this quote again because I think that is a very good one that will take us to the new year. So that as we new year is approaching and we make all the resolution, we make all the goals, we make all the goals for the dreams, no matter how great your dream is, you will never fulfill it until you pass the test that qualify you to manage the dream. Dr. Miles Monroe. The next one is from Zig Ziglar. He said, freedom is moving from survival to stability, from stability to success, and from success to significance. You want freedom? Find why you were born for. That's significance. Your purpose gives you meaning. Your purpose is significance. So I'm leaving you today as we close the year 2021 with this true quote that you may ponder upon it in the spirit of management. And as we resume next year, January the 10th, I may come in at one point to share again the remainder part of management, but we're going to be enrolled with Apostle John Abraham, who is going to start with us that new series on the Kingdom Teaching, Powerful Kingdom Teaching series. So I'm leaving you with this two quote again. Remember, I'm going to say it for the purpose of you writing, because you are going to make some resolution. I put already on my list what I want to have next year, what my goal, yearly plan, everything. So freedom is moving from survival to stability, from stability to success, and from success to significance. That is Zig Ziglar. You want to be significance? Move from stability to success, and from success, move to the place where God called you to become. Dr. Miles Monroe said, no matter how great your dream is, you will never fulfill it until you pass the test that qualifies you to manage the dream. And quote, Dr. Miles Monroe and Zig Ziglar. It has been my privilege today to share this live cast with you. Applying principle way to success, management part 2, because I want to see you at the top in 2022. 2022, as I say, is going to be a very, very prosperous year. Why? Because Abba is in control of your life and in my life. And if you agree with heaven, that means what? You agree with his word. Everything he says concerning you will come to pass. Just align yourself with God's vertically. Align yourself with his word. Don't look in the right. Don't look in the left. Don't be distracted with what is going to arise. That is only distraction. We learned last time that the enemy is just been activating because of us. So now that you know that, as you're going through the new year, there's going to be some movement taking shape, but it will not touch you, beloved, because you are covered under the great canopy. You are a righteousness of God. Remember that God said 2022 is a year that is very prosperous, very, very prosperous. So look up to that. This is where I am going to be looking up to. I am going to be higher up in the eagle's realm, not with the chicken. Because when I'm with the chicken, I will get distracted. I will be sidetracked. Be up where the eagles are. See as God sees. God never make a mistake. He's never late. He's always right on time. And he always have a good purpose and a good thing for you in store. So this is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to get. And I'm not settled for nothing. I'm not settled for anything less. And this shall be also yours. Thank you very much for the privilege of your time. You are blessed. You are blessed. Thank you very much, beautiful Queen Annette. This is also your blessing. I speak that to you over your life. You are going to experience great, great things next year, beautiful Queen Annette. God leave you for a purpose for this year. I'm telling you, it's in store, and he has already released it. As a matter of fact, he has already released. He has already released it. The release is being done. So don't be distracted. This is the key. Don't be distracted. Why am I saying it? I asked God for 2022. He said to me, what I was hearing in my ear is that open door. That's the only word God gave me. Open door. So if God opened the door, who is going to be the one to shut? I leave you with that word. I bless you. And I see you at the top 2022. Open door. Don't be distracted. Open door. Yes, don't be distracted. Open door. Focus on the door that is open. Door open. God is the one who opened that door, and no one can shut it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And until I see you next year, enjoy life. Enjoy the joy of the season. Enjoy the birth of our King Savior, Jesus Christ. And have a great, great, great Christmas and a very, very prosperous 2022. Yay! Thank you. And let me see you at the top where the eagles are. Bye-bye.